Yes, guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel into two Hellas Verona nil and Cagliari just scored against Juventus just before I kicked off the stream. João Pedro scoring against Juventus. So beautiful, beautiful day, end to the day for me, or maybe start to the day for wherever you guys are. Thank you for everyone that's joining in. I hope you guys have been. Were you guys on the stream with Inter Worldwide? The guys Anthony, Mo, and Mattia did a wonderful, wonderful job talking about the game. But yeah, Anthony, my guy, coming in. Welcome to the stream. João Pedro 1-0 goal on the other side. Yeah, keep us updated, Anthony. Let us know how things are going over on that side for Juventus. But 2-0, guys. What a beautiful, solid win. Finally, a solid win. We've lacked this. Apart from the Salernitana game, as we always say, like, just forget about that Salernitana game. It's been 3 months almost since we've got like a good performance and a solid win. So I am really, really happy about this win and the second star mission, guys. The most important thing, the second star mission is now alive and well. And we're right there putting on the pressure, as Benjamin says here, putting on the pressure. Best first half of 2022. Probably. Like, we came on with some fire. I missed the first 10-15 minutes, but thanks to the Inter Worldwide boys, I was whilst they was watching their stream, but then I put on the first 10 minutes of the match to rewatch it. And yeah, Inter came out of the gates nice, early, strong, good pressing, creating pressure. And yes, they didn't let the Juventus win go to waste. That was my main worry. I was like, please, guys, please, I beg you, I'm on my knees. Do not do a Pazza Inter thing and now win against Juventus and draw or lose against Hellas Verona. And they didn't. So I am very, very happy. Let me see who is joining in. Harry Dem in the house, my boy. Fado, I've never seen your name around here, but I like the way you're coming in. Inter is the best team in the world. Nice. Skriniar for captain. There he says the double tackle. Oh my god, how good was that double tackle? And then I've got a screenshot prepared for you guys in terms of he made a save again today, Skriniar. It wasn't a goal line save, but it was a very important save. Tari in the house. What's up, brother? 1 point behind Milan, of course. Tears in my eyes, brother. Limone-Ball is back. Ahmed says it was back for sure. The first half we saw shades, not shades. It was the first half of Limone-Ball. Not quite Limoncello Ball. Limoncello Ball is what we did against Roma. What we played against, some halves of the season, like, against Liverpool, against Real Madrid. Like, that was Limoncello Ball, like real top class, but definitely some good quality Limone Ball was back today. Mattia in the house as well. Faiz in the house as well. Massimo at work making pizzas for the rest of the night, but for once I can be happy with the rest of my shift. I didn't know you were a pizza maker. You're cooking in the kitchen, but yeah, you can cook in peace today. Marcello, dai cazzo è nostro, lo scudetto è nostro. Yes sir, we're coming for that scudetto. Brothers of the World as well, the return of Limone-Ball. I like that. Could make that the title of the stream. Let's go, Zio. Yes, sir. Ken Rusley says, love the win. I can hope we can win the Scudetto too. But Sanchez didn't play. I guess Simon didn't believe in him. Yeah, I saw the Inter Worldwide boys talked about it as well. And I don't want to start off the stream in a negative, so we'll talk about that later. But actually, we mentioned it now. Is Alexis Sanchez a problem? Because he didn't come on against Juventus, and he didn't come on today. Like, not even any charity minutes. So clearly, has something happened between him? Because usually Alexis is either the first or second sub. We know, like, Simone, almost, pre-programmed subs. We know how he does it. And usually it's, Sanchez in for, Dzeko, Lautaro usually. And today, I don't know. And then is something must have happened in behind the scenes, because clearly, that's quite surprising, to be honest. And when Correa was taken off, it was for Ghost, and then I was like, whoa. And then Perisic was moved up front, and Perisic looked pretty tired as well, and he still wasn't taking them off. And so interesting to see the developments on this Sanchez front. Thank you, Inter Worldwide boys. Smash the like, boys. Smash the like button, boys. Stefan Stein, hello everyone. Job done now to watch Bremer masterclass tomorrow. Yes, João Pedro, he's already doing us a favor. Dalbert, please, boy, step up. but we don't really care about Juventus. Tomorrow is all about Bremer, Singo, all them boys there doing us a favor, and of course, let's not forget Napoli as well, guys. Nico Gonzalez, Benassi, no, Benassi's at Empoli now, but yeah, Duncan, Milenkovic, all of those guys, they need to step up for us against Napoli as well. So we gotta, those two games, we definitely gotta watch. And this Juventus one, that's just a bonus when Juventus are struggling. But yeah, let me get into the match. I've got some screenshots ready for you guys. Eduardito in the house says I have two things to say. Let's leave Lautaro. I knew this was going to come today. Let's leave Lautaro on the bench. If Premier League can afford having 100 million sitting, why can't we? I'm glad we were to rotate as much as we did. Bro, we'll get into the, how Correa did compared to Lautaro, but obviously, I think you guys know, and it's not just me. I think 95% of the fan base just does not like Dzeko Lautaro as a partnership. It's not even about Dzeko individually or Lautaro individually. As a two, they just don't work together. And then like when you see how smoothly the team played today in the absence of Lautaro, it makes you think. But let's get into it. Let's get into it because I can see why people would be on this anti-Lautaro train today after you see the team thriving without him. But let's not go too far on the end. Huyan in the house as well. Don't care what anyone says. Tucu bowled out today, deserves another start. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. I'll get back into your comments in a minute. Otlo Leng, my boy. Otlo, solid win and good performance. Yeah, man. I'm sure you are glad to finally see a solid win. Right, so let me get into my screenshots that I got ready for you guys. Because actually there's quite a lot. I took quite a lot of screenshots today. There was quite a lot to talk about. FC Tucu Correa is back. Not quite. He's definitely given us something to boast about a little bit now. But I wouldn't say we're fully back yet. Not fully back. The FC Tucu Correa until he scores or assists, I would say. Let's say thank you to Handanovic. Yeah. Gotta say it when he does it. As I always say, guys, I'm not biased in that way. Like I know I always say that we need to move on from Handanovic, but you also gotta admit that this guy when he performs well, and today he performed well. The few times he was called into action. So let me get into the comments. Sorry, into my screenshots, my analysis of the game. So running stats. So this is the benefit of waiting just a few minutes because you get this match report from the Serie A. So Inter were actually another rare occurrence of Inter being outrun today. So it is, Hellas Verona's on 115k into 114, like minimal numbers, but that shows you the difference. The second half, especially Inter dropped off after a very intense first half, and that was just expected because you can't maintain that crazy rhythm that Inter had in the first half. So I wasn't surprised about that, to be honest. And Hellas Verona are a hard-working team, and they are 2-0 down at half time. So obviously they're gonna have their pride hitting them. So no surprise there. Brozovic, of course. Well, when he completes 90 minutes, there's not even Barella can touch Brozovic when he completes 90 minutes. There it is, going back to his old levels. Dumfries putting in a good shift as well. Skriniar putting in 11 kilometers. That's quite a lot for even by Skriniar's standard. So yeah, hard-working performance by Inter. And there I've got on the right-hand side, you can see the screenshot. This is the first half average position, and you can see, and you saw that within the matches. Obviously, you can, if you see it within the match, you see it within the average position. Perisic was stepping in a lot this match, which was quite interesting, almost as a centre midfielder at times, and he let Di Marco go up quite a lot, which was quite interesting. And you can actually see Dzeko was actually being, the main forward. Like Correa was the one hovering and floating in behind them, rather than Dzeko doing that when it happens with Lautaro a lot of the time. So that was good to see that Dzeko playing the target man play, and then Correa kind of trying to work off his flicks and coming deep to collect sometimes. So good balance is restored in in this 3-5-2. And this screenshot from who scored, actually, this is total. So this takes the first half and the second half, and of course Perisic, you got to take into account Perisic moved as a second striker to the end of the match. So that's why he looks it looks like we play like a 3-4-2-1 there. but it's kind of skewed because obviously Perisic, as I said, moved inside. But yeah, early on, as I said, Perisic was really letting Dimarco go forward, and this was one of the first early moves. And Dimarco was a surprise inclusion. I talked about in my match preview that there was rumors that Dimarco might start, and he actually did. And I think he had a good match today, Dimarco. I think he, especially against his old club, I think he showed good levels that he's a viable alternative. And yeah, here picks up the ball from a 1-2 with Perisic and runs for like 40-50 yards, ends up right in front of goal. I think he didn't expect to be, to find himself in that type of position, and he shoots on goal and it gets deflected for a corner. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Good early bright start from the team. Enjoyed it. And then moving on to the Correa. So let's talk about, we talk about Tucu Correa. You guys know I'm a Tucu Correa fan, but you got to be objective when, as I always try to be objective. But to me today, he showed why we've missed this guy. We've talked about the characteristics that no one has in this team, a bit of pace. We're not talking, he's not Mbappe, but he's quicker than all of our other forwards. Bit of pace, bit of dribbling, bit of directness, bit of creativity, ideas, something just a little bit different from everyone else. And this is what he added today. I liked what I saw from him, especially in the first half. He dropped off in the second half. As I said, I'm objective. He dropped off in the second half. He wasn't good in the second half. But in the first half, he was very active. He was very bright. And here, look at this. Look at the clock, guys. Look at the clock, yeah? 5 minutes, 5 seconds on the clock. So he receives the ball here on the halfway line on a counter-attack. And look at this next line. Look at the clock, yeah? 5 minutes, 5 seconds. 6 seconds and we're on the edge of the box just from him picking up the ball here and carrying it to the edge of the box. And here he takes the wrong decision. This is obviously one of the problems with Correa. He's 27 years old, guys. As I said before, like, there's a reason why this guy has never hit double figures for goals in his life. And, he's always been an inconsistent player. But this is what he adds to the game. And actually, in the end, he did win a free kick in a very dangerous position here. So it's not like he went completely to waste. But he did make the wrong decision there for sure. Then here again, look at the clock once again, guys. Hakan, great tackle here, by the way. Hakan once again putting a good shift. I think he's whenever he doesn't maybe score or assist or something, his performance gets underrated. Hakan, he's become a complete midfielder in terms of the tackling he offers as well, defensive work. But yeah, Hakan wins the ball here on the edge of the box. Look where we are right now, guys. Yeah, and look at the clock: 7 minutes 35 seconds. And look at that, 35, 44. So in 9 seconds, we've ended up on the edge of their box, and he makes a nice pass here to Dumfries, and it almost turns into a goal. Dumfries' cross was dangerous after that. But this reminded me of the goal we scored against Napoli, where Correa did the exact same thing and assisted Lautaro. And obviously, instead of Lautaro here, we've got Dumfries. Obviously, it was a completely different position for Lautaro to shoot in, but that's what Correa offers. 9 seconds and we're on the opposition box. And then once again here, Dzeko wins a header. So Correa floating in off behind Dzeko, hoping he wins the other, and he did, and creates another dangerous opportunity. Look at all these screenshots, guys. I've not even gone past the 11th minute yet. We're still on 11 and 9 seconds. This is how good our start was this match. So many dangerous positions we created today. And here, this is the goal. Perisic today, a great performance. I think, we'll talk about who the man of the match is, but for me, it was even Perisic for me. Daniel Bessa, if you guys remember, Daniel Bessa is the guy there in the screenshots who gives us the ball. Former Inter youth player. If you remember, he was part of the generation with Samuel Elongo, Duncan, and those guys there. He was supposed to be one of our top talents. But yeah, it's funny that he here is the one that passes it straight to Perisic into the space, and Perisic, just picks it up and crosses it into Barella. And yes, I'm very happy to see Barella scoring. I said in my preview, I feel like he's due a goal. And nicely taken goal, by the way. This is not an easy goal to take the way he took it, especially with the outside of his right foot on the half volley. Good cross from Dzeko, but yeah, hits the crossbar and in, but good movement from Barella. This is what, we've always been asking him to add more to his game. So yeah, great start. We've been wanting an early goal. 22 minutes. It's not early goal, but earlier than we've been scoring recently. Here Barella once again linking up with Lautaro. So this is the difference between a Correa and Lautaro. So this is where Correa, Correa is not, he's not, as I said, he's never hit double figures in his life, there's a reason for that. He's not a clinical forward. This guy wasn't even a forward until a few years ago, until Inzaghi converted him. He was like an attacking mid/winger, and then Inzaghi obviously in the 3-5-2 Lazio converted him. But this guy he's never going to score. He's never going to go bag bare goals. But in this position, we saw Lautaro against the Salernitana. It was pretty much carbon copy of the Barella pass, but I think he did it with the outside of the boot in that match, Barella. And then Correa shoots on goal, but it was pretty central. But good movement there, good link up between Barella and Correa. And this is the second goal. Di Marco involved, and good cross. And then Perisic, once again, another 2 assists for Perisic. Gets in on the front post. He did that a few times this season. He's really good at doing that against Napoli. He scored like that. But this time he flicks it onto the second post, and Dzeko finally scoring. Edin has been receiving a lot of slander recently, so I'm happy to see Dzeko scoring there. Adding 2 goals in the first half, that's exactly the fuel that Inter needed to get this match in their favor, and it was great. If Dzeko missed that, it would have been, I don't know what would have happened there. Moving on to the second half, Dumfries. So Dumfries, he had a good game, Dumfries, but we always see the issues that I had with him even before he came to the club. Like, you guys know, made fun of him, calling him brick freeze, all this kind of stuff. But it's true. He's just he's got this. He always manages to somehow slow the play down, even though everything is in his favor. But he never seems to have it in terms of, keeping the momentum of that move going. Like here, he's great counter attack. Dzeko plays him into space, and he's 1v1 here, and and this is just one of the opportunities I picked. There was a few more where I felt like he just slowed the game down. Like, he takes too long to make the decision, or his final ball isn't quite good enough. The choice of ball isn't quite good enough, or his just getting it under his feet sometimes is just not quite there. as 11 says, Dumfries plays with a lag sometimes. Yeah, it just feels like sometimes it's just kind of like, his internet connection is not that good. He's playing on 1 bar or 2 bars of internet connection, and he always looks angry, of course. But yeah, this movement, Correa, I saw Anthony said that he didn't make a good movement, but I thought he did what he should have done. He kind of hovered behind the defender there, and then he came right at the last second. He came near post when this is where Dumfries should have just little clip into him, because he got in front of the defender there, Correa. So he would have just got the little touch if he just had the presence of mind to just flick it over the defender who was sliding in. But instead, he tries to power it near post. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But we saw, this is the difference between Dumfries, Dumfries and Hakimi. We've seen the Hakimi, sneaking that goal in at the near post or through the keeper's legs. Like, Hakimi in those types of positions has kind of like a finishing of a striker. But this is just like nitpicking. He had a good game, Dumfries, but I'm just saying, like, there's some moments where you just feel like he could be, like, you really could be. You could take the game to the next level if he works on it. And this was another position as well, again on the counter attack, and nothing comes of it. He tries to cross it in, and it goes to no one. So there's lots of these positions. But that's the thing, though, with Dumfries in this league, guys, in Serie A, this guy physically, as we expected, like, this guy just dominates. So he's definitely a great, he's a cheat code to have in a league like this, where there's not many athletic guys. And Lazovic on that side, like, Lazovic is a very quick player, and Lazovic was struggling to keep up with him on the counter attack. So Dumfries, I like what I'm seeing, but I'm just saying, like, he's a frustrating player. Natalia, my boy, says he's not here for the Dumfries slander. It's not Dumfries slander. It's just, as we talked about with Correa, there's constructive criticism where there's improvement to be made. But he keeps getting in those positions. But the volume of chances he gets, Dumfries, I feel like he should have more of a final product in terms of the volume that he creates. I mean, this was a good chance as well. D'Ambrosio being our most our furthest striker up front at one point, linking up with the Vidal, who gave him a pass there, and he shoots with his left foot, tries to go for the near post. Decent save by the keeper, who hits it onto the post. Yeah, so we had even more chances really to go. There wasn't any clear-cut chances in the end, really, but we definitely could have made it 3-0, 4-0 at some points if we were just a bit more clinical in the final third. And this one was another great chance. Perisic, once again, they just can't handle him on that side. Left foot cross once again. And Dzeko tries to, he does reach the header, but he doesn't get the shout from Dumfries there. Dumfries was actually, shouting for it, but I don't think he actually would have got it, because when I saw the replay, there was a defender behind Dzeko that I think might have got it anyway. But yeah, again, Perisic, just that's why for me it was the man of the match. Like, he just created 2 assists, but he also created other opportunities as well. Really good performance. And this is the screenshot I was talking about earlier in terms of Skriniar, not just that double tackle that everyone, we're talking about that gassed us all up. But here, this is a very underrated block. I mean, maybe Handanovic would have had this covered because it looked like it was quite central, to be fair. But yeah, he gets his big Slovakian head in the way from this shot from, who's that, Ilic, or someone midfield. Gets in the way of that with his big head. So he's like having another goalkeeper at times, Skriniar. So, he could be very easily man of the match as well, Skriniar, today, because of the second half performance that he had. But yeah, that was my match analysis, guys. Let me get back into your comments to see what your thoughts are. Yeah, of course. We're not arguing about that. In terms of getting into dangerous position, he's just as good as Hakimi. The difference is, yeah, exactly, he's just the final product, and that's what you pay the big money for, that final product. Perisic is one to be the best players in Serie A this season. Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. 100% for Inter and for Serie A. So when I come to make my Serie A team of the season, on the left hand side is going to be between Perisic and Theo Hernandez. It's going to be a difficult one to choose, to be honest. I mean, Dumfries is a beast in the air. There's just no argument. Nanovic would have spilled it. Yeah, Skriniar double tackle was goated. Skriniar, Onana with another mistake. Yeah, I saw that. Onana apparently with a mistake again. This guy is not he's not convincing. He's not been convincing since he's come back, which is expected. I keep saying it, but there's only so long you can keep saying that and give that excuse. Dumfries told Millie, Milian, the guy, I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said this is the difference between, because now you guys are going in the comments like there's no comparison. There's different levels to the game. Mo in the house as well, brilliant game, winning the title or what? I honestly, now, Mo, I'm just underplaying us. Now I was gassing us up between, October, November, December, January. I was still confident. February, I was even still confident. But last month, I had to just drop it. And I'm going to just keep it low key. As I said, I'm saying, for me right now, I'm saying Napoli. After this Atalanta win, I'm just saying Napoli, and I'm underplaying Inter's chances. I'm just playing the underdog card for now. I'm happy just being in the shadow of these two and having less pressure. This is the pressures of Milan and Napoli right now. So let's see what happens. But I think we definitely can. There's no doubts about that. And I think we should, to be fair. Like, I think overall Inter have showed the best football. Yes, we should be punished for the last 2 months, because a title-winning team shouldn't have the 2 months that Inter have just out of mid-table form. But at the same time, when you take into account like the totality, like the type of football played as well, like when Inter were playing their best football as well, the ideas brought to the table by Inzaghi as well, I think overall Inter have been like the best team in most parts of the season. But at the same time, consistency should be rewarded. So if Napoli and Milan end up winning it due to them just being consistent and getting the wins and not having a 2-month drop off, then they 100% deserve it. Android 17 coming says Alexa didn't play because Inzaghi wants to keep the score and defend. If De Vrij didn't get injured, he would have played. I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying, because usually he's a first, second substitution for Inzaghi. He put Perisic up front, and then he didn't even sub out Dzeko like he sometimes subs out Dzeko. And he didn't come on against Juve as well. That's what I'm saying, because this is now 2 games in a row that he hasn't got even 1 minute. So there's definitely something other than just tactical decisions, because he's like one of the first substitutions he makes. It's fascinating how one game can turn the season around. First the Milan game and now the Juve game. Yeah, it's all, you guys know, it's all about morale, confidence. The mental game is like 50%. All good about tactics and what you do on the pitch, but half of the game is all up here. Having a good first half is something we needed. Tired of us watching suffer for a goal in the second half. Yeah, that's true. We need to get more games where we just start off with a massive good performance in the first half. Guglielmo, I disagree. If you're talking about Onana, which obviously you are, because no one else plays for Cameroon in this team, he got a man of the match performance in their last game. But when I watched the actual game, again, he was very shaky for them. And in the African Cup of Nations, he also was shaky. And again, I reiterate, this is expected. This guy's been out with the band for more than a year. He had to train with himself, by himself. It's going to take time to get back into the swing of things. But as I keep saying as well, there's only so many times you can say that excuse, and Inter is not going to run. If Handanovic is staying, if he's signing that new contract, then first mistake, and Handanovic is going to be straight back in, guys. Like the margin of error Inter isn't he can't. The stadium will swallow him up. Handanovic is different. He can take it. You see the guy. He makes a mistake and it just rolls off his back. Like that's why, that's the experience. That's why he's captain. I know a lot of people probably disagree with that, but this is the reason why. Like he can take it. Give him what he got, and he'll call you a barking dog. He'll call out people for not talking about when he makes saves. Like he can take it. Can Onana take that strong criticism of a San Siro or the Italian newspaper or the media, social media? Let's see. Different level. Rodrigo De Paul, Skriniar performance terrified me. Some rich EPL clubs might come with 80 million and 10 million. Yeah, well, you just gotta hope they don't. That's the thing. What's scary is that we've had 2 months dip in form and we're tied for second. Yeah, I keep saying, guys, this Scudetto is going to be decided by who is the least worst team this year. It's not going to be the best team. Who was the team that effed up the least? That's the team that's going to win this season. It's a good Serie A campaign in terms of entertainment, and keeping this title race is crazy, especially if you're neutral. But the quality on show this season has not been good, guys. And the consistency from the top teams has not been good. Like the team that's going to win the Scudettos all this season, like 82, 83 points is probably, that's going to be the number. That's quite a low total point score for a Scudetto winner as well. Like it's not a great season. So it really is the team that effed up the least that's going to take it home. And that's why Inter, to the end of the season now, just need to make sure not to F up. Scudetto now is only between Inter, Napoli, Milan. Yeah, Juventus were. I know people were kept on saying it because it's Juventus, but they literally, even before the Inter game, they would even if they beat Inter, they would have literally had to win every single game, Juventus, just to have a shot, because they didn't have the game in hand. I'm sure he'll be back, and also playing for Ajax right now is really hard for him since the fans hate him. Yeah, that's what I mean, bro. Like, Ajax is a big ass club as well, and I see Ajax. I search up Onana on Twitter, and he's receiving a lot of abuse as well. And yeah, I saw, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I posted Oliver Kahn, the legendary Bayern Munich keeper. He was not sure why he was asked about Onana, but he talked about Onana the other day, and he said, for him, that this is a big cosign, Oliver Kahn. He was one of my favorite goalkeepers growing up, bit of a character. He said, Onana for me is a top 5 goalkeeper in the world, top 5. He said, playing with the ball at his feet, he's great agility, great reflexes. And he says if he keeps working hard, this guy could be the best in the world. Like that is a big cosign coming from someone like Oliver Kahn. So I still, I'm not saying, it's to cancel this guy's contract, don't bring in Onana. I'm just saying it's worrying signs that we're seeing. So that's all we're saying. We're just calling out what the truth is at the moment. So I still think, I think it's a great signing, free transfer. What you got to lose? If it doesn't work out, you can sell him on. And he's only, 25, 26 years old. Like, he's still very young for a keeper. So he's got some time to improve and get back to his old levels. But, this is Inter, this is a big pressure he's coming into. So I hope he can take it. How Magnon took it straight from Donnarumma. That was super impressive. Like, I thought Magnan was gonna have a period of struggle, but he didn't. The guy just came in and just hardly dropped a clanger. Like, he's dropped, obviously, like every keeper, mistakes. He's made 1 or 2 mistakes this season, quite high profile as well. But that I was expecting him to make 3, 4, 5 mistakes, especially at the beginning of the season. He didn't. And if Onana can do something like that, just come in straight like that, like Magnan, then well, we've got a great signing on our hands. If we can go a streak like this before December, second start is there for hours. Yeah, that's it. I saw one of the Italian newspapers said that basically, if Inter match the results that we did in the first half of the season against the remaining teams, we win the Scudetto, basically, because we got Roma. We got Roma next. If we beat Roma like we did in the first half of the season, we win once again. That's matching the exact same result. Bologna, we beat them last time round. Udinese, we beat them. Empoli, we beat them. Sampdoria, we drew against. But I think there is one game that Inter can drop, not in terms of losing, but they can draw one game in between in this last run of fixtures, which could be the Roma game or the Udinese game, I could say, or even Cagliari, if they're really like fighting for their lives when we play them. Let me share my screen actually, so you guys can actually see the fixtures that we've got left until the end of the season. So yeah, next we've got Spezia away Friday, 6 p.m. kickoff. That's a weird time to kick off. So that should be, again, 3 points. I don't want to see us, because Spezia now are safe. They've got nothing to play for. They've done really well. Thiago Motta's done amazingly well. I mean, they're not officially safe yet, but they're pretty much there, like 33 points, well clear of Venezia and Cagliari. So they should be completely fine. So there's no excuse to not go to Spezia and get 3 points. And then we've got the cup match in between, which obviously will make the Roma match slightly harder because we don't want to have as much rest. But this is maybe the one where you can maybe draw. But again, the way that we've performed against Roma this season, we should, we should be. But this is what everyone kept saying every time we play Roma this season. The first one was like, I said as well, I was like, oh, Mourinho against Inter, he's gonna make sure not to win, and then get smashed 3-0. And then second time around, the Coppa Italia, we played them. Oh, Mourinho is gonna want revenge. He's at San Siro this time, 2-0. So we keep saying that about Mourinho, and then it doesn't quite work out. So maybe third time lucky for Mourinho. We're not hating on Onana, John. This is called constructive criticism, or just calling out that he's looking really shaky at the moment. Ade says next Coppa match against Milan will be key for Scudetto. Beat Milan will bring negativity for them till the rest of the season. Yeah, just how they killed us, we can kill basically their season like that. And then let's not forget, guys, Coppa Italia getting to the final, which is likely to be against Juventus. That's a big statement as well. Coppa Italia is a cup trophy that we've missed for a long time. If we win 6 out of the 7 games, we'll win it. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. You can draw one of them, you just can't lose any of them. Draw one of them. I don't know if you get away with drawing 2. I think one. I think that's the only margin of error. You've got 1 match margin of error because of our bad form. Bologna could be potentially drop points for Inter because they stopped Milan. Yeah. They all can be potentially drop points. I'm not discounting any of them. It's just my prediction that I see. Either I see like Udinese, because how their terrorist play football sometimes can really be a problem for us. or Cagliari, because they might still have to play for their lives. Second last game of the season, and they might still be like fighting for relegation. So that could be a really hard game. But yeah, none of these games should be underestimated for sure. But with Bologna is another one of those teams like Hellas Verona that don't really have much to play for. With Milan now, they just had the Mihailovic news. Mihailovic is gone once again for leukemia treatment. He's coaching them from literally the hospital. Like, he's got a camera set up to help them in training and stuff. But so they had that emotional, mental, push boost in this last match. By the time we play them in 2 or 3 weeks time, like, I'm not sure it will still be there. Oh, Anthony says 1-1 halftime at Cagliari would die at defense. Ah, damn it. Gallia hat-trick against Spezia. Yeah, we know Gagliardini likes to step up against these Ligurian sides. Bologna is the game in hand, bro. How can you forget, bro? This is the game that bloody has been the bane of our season for the whole last like 4 months. Yeah, I think Torino could definitely be drop points, because as we know especially that Torino is a very hard team to play against because of their pressing and things like that. But again, with Torino, like towards the end of this is the problem with this end of the season. They don't really have too much to play for anymore. But definitely, I think there could be some points dropped for sure. I don't believe we'll drop points. Maybe a tie to Roma, but that's it. Look at how you guys have changed now. Just 2 wins and now everything. We won't drop any points. Look at Napoli, Milan schedule. They've got 1 or more 2 tougher games. Yeah, that's what I've been saying since the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been saying we've got the best run in. We've got the best Scudetto run in. I know a few people disagreed with me, but I believe that apart from obviously the Juventus game, this last run of 6-7 games is really, you can't ask for much better. You got Roma in there, of course, but you can't really ask for much more because Empoli, they're safe now. Udinese, they're safe now. They've got nothing to play for. Sampdoria on the last match of the season, hopefully they should be done and dusted in terms of nothing to play for. Bologna, as we said. Rome obviously they still have the Europa League spots to fight for. They want to finish above Lazio, so they still got things to fight for. Spezia next game, as I said, they're safe pretty much, so they haven't any got nothing to play for. So this is the best. There's no excuses for Inter. That's it. There's no excuses. Exactly, Mattia, best easiest schedule, but obviously can't underestimate the Milan game. I start your stream down and at the end I feel like we're going to keep winning. Yeah, that's true. Big 3 points. Let's go. Exactly. 2025. Don't worry, guys, we still have a Bologna game in hand. Oh man, it really has felt like it. Will Bremer pocket Milan attack like he did with us? Yeah. Especially if it's Giroud playing, like a static number 9. I think Bremer will lead him alive. We'll just clatter him from behind as he always does. Otlo, my boy, says Perisic has to renew. What a player. The Bayern experience really pushed him forward. Yeah, we should send out more players on loan to Bayern Munich, to be honest, because if that's how they come back. Actually, I'm watching on Amazon, I'm watching the documentary. It's not the All or Nothing. It's called Making of a Giant, I think, Bayern. But yeah, I recommend it. It's behind the scenes of Bayern, and you just tell like the mentality there is just completely different. Like, is obsessed with winning, obsessed with like any little detail that goes in behind creating a better player, better performance. Like, you can see why Perisic came back a different player from his experience at Bayern. And yeah, I hope that renewal is done and dusted soon, because yeah, we really need that to happen. You just see how hard he was working at the end as well. Like, not just the performance, like as I said. Oh yeah, guys, comment down below who is your man of the match, so we can talk about that before I leave. But yeah, for me it was Perisic, because 2 assists, but also he went up front and then started winning headers, but also the way he was working. Like, this guy presses so hard, like until the 85th, 90th minute, even though he is the guy that does the most sprints in this team. I don't have the stats to back it up, but I'm sure he is the guy who makes the most sprints of this team, because he's just always ready to go in behind, always ready to press, but not just press, like press really hard. So it's such a pleasure to have a player like Perisic in this team, man. So yeah, comment your man of the matches. Let's see who you guys are saying. Yeah, we need to bring you Perisic. We just take, yeah, come on, Tari. How many times have we talked about that? So of course, we take Lukaku back. Perisic, man of the match. Yes, Freddie. Mattia also says Perisic. Stefan says Ivan Skriniar close second. Yeah, I agree. I think Skriniar was second. Send Lautaro to Bayern. Yeah, but the problem with the striker position is he's going to be the Choupo-Moting of Bayern because he's not getting ahead of Lewandowski, obviously. Perisic man of the match. Matteo says. Eduardo also. Christian says Skriniar. Fair enough. I wouldn't say that's a bad take at all. Perisic man of the match. Honorable mention to Beast Skriniar. Perisic, Skriniar. Yeah, it seems like it's just those two guys. Although I feel like, DiMarco deserves a good shout. Oh, yeah, Balkan Warriors gave it the shout. Definitely, I think DiMarco was good today. I know he gets a lot of criticism, and he was a bit of a surprise start today, but I think he played quite well today, DiMarco. And I think, when Bastoni actually came on, I thought he's more shaky, even defensively, than DiMarco, which was a surprise. But I also want to give out a shout out to Hakan. Hakan, I think, was good today. And Barella, of course, he scored his goal. Everyone was good today, to be honest. So let me see what who scored and SofaScore gave the boys. Let me share my screen. Let's see what these guys gave. So yeah, Perisic man of the match, 9.0 assist. Yeah, DiMarco got 7.5. De Vrij. So De Vrij, he had a fatigue in his thigh, I believe. So it's not a serious injury, but again, I guess it was like, precaution. He was taken off, which was worrying. That's the thing with De Vrij. When we signed him, I thought his career at Inter was going to be more injury prone, and he was surprisingly very solid and very, stayed fit for pretty much his whole career at Inter. But now recently he's starting to flare up with a couple of injuries, but hopefully it's not too serious. Yeah, so we talked about it already. Sanchez is not injured, so he's either there's a problem between him and Inzaghi, or some sort of tactical reasoning behind it. But I think it could be some sort of falling out behind the scenes, because he's got 0 minutes in the last 2 matches, and he was on the bench. So if he was injured, he wouldn't be on the bench. Yeah, Dumfries got 7.3. I think, as I said, he had a good performance. Correa only 6.6. I think that was quite harsh. And Dzeko got 7.6, got his goal. Fair enough. I see the substitutes. Yeah, they didn't really have. Yeah, substitutes always hard to judge. Who had the most shots? Dzeko with most shots, 6. Actually, yeah, the goal that came, Dzeko's goal actually came from Dzeko himself, because he, if you guys remember, he nutmegged the defender and had a shot on goal, which was went out for a corner. I think the goal came from that same corner, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been not. I might be just imagining that, actually. Who had the most possession? Ivan Ilic. Skriniar with the best pass success after Correa. Denzel Dumfries with the most dribbles according to Who Scored. Nice to see. Perisic, look at that. That's what I mean. Like Perisic, like even when he went up front, like he was just winning headers. Like no tomorrow. Him and Dzeko, most headers won. Danilo D'Ambrosio, I know someone shouted him out in here. Yeah, who is shouted him out, saying D'Ambrosio, like he's got the most tackles in this match alongside Skriniar. Caprari and Dzeko the most dispossessed. So yeah, decent. Let's have a look what SofaScore gave the boys. Let me share my screen again. SofaScore. Yeah, Perisic man of the match once again. Handanovic got a nice, he deserves a good rating as well. Handanovic, he only made 3 saves, but I remember it was some decent saves when he had to make them, and he was good command of his area today, which is always underrated. Like he was just very calm today. He didn't, cause panic like he was causing against Juventus. Yeah, DiMarco with a 7.6, Brozovic. Yeah, Perisic was actually the only guy that was, could be suspended if he got a yellow card. So he did well not to get a yellow card as well. Again, Correa, I feel like he could have got a higher rating there, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, not bad. I think Dzeko 7.4 is a bit, bit generous. See what for Verona. Didn't see any particularly standout players for them. I thought Simeone was pretty decent. He had a couple of decent shots, decent runs on goal. But yeah, not much to talk about apart from that. There, what did the substitutes get? Bastoni got 7. Jeez. Dambro 6.9, Arturo 6.9. Yeah, I agree with more of these ratings for the substitutes. Yeah, good overall. Yeah, Tari, you guys know. I mean, we've talked about these things for a while. De Vrij, if a good offer comes, 20-25 million, time to go. He's 29, going to be 30 years old. He's starting to get injury prone. He's had a little bit of a dip. No shade on the career he's had with Inter, but then use that 25-30 million that you can get. Use it straight away on Bremer. That's it, and you've instantly brought in, an upgrade. You think De Vrij will play better after his settlement? Oh yeah, he's got this stuff going on off the field, which he won the case recently, but it's going to be appealed by the agency that he's suing. It could be affecting him. These types of things could affect the player, but we're talking about a whole season. Like, we felt like De Vrij has been having, it's not just 1 or 2 games here and there, but we just felt like his whole level isn't quite as good as he always has been. So maybe, yeah, it could be clouding, his pre-match, his focus. Maybe he's not 100% on football, but at the end of the day, he's the one suing them. Like, it's not like a thing where it shouldn't be causing him too much issue. Like, he's gonna get some money. Apparently that he's just won the case, which he's gonna receive like 4.7 million euros. So it's in his favor at the moment anyway. So they're appealing it, but he's won the case for now. So I don't know if that excuse really runs. But of course, these off the field issues, we don't know what goes on in these guys' lives, and we don't know what happens. Yeah, Matteo, I think Chala deserves a shout out for sure. He probably watched the game with us. Lukaku, yeah. Yeah, we're definitely tuning into in every game. Big Ron faked an injury so he could watch Inter. I wouldn't be surprised, guys. So happy for Dzeko to score. I feel bad. He always gives his all. Yeah, that's the thing with Dzeko. I always like what he offers, even though he's a lot of, especially since the second half of the season, he's just burnt out. Yeah, Dzeko is better at 1v1s than Lautaro. Like, that's the thing with Lautaro. Like, he should be the one that's taking on players. Like, the way Dzeko sometimes you shouldn't even take the guy on, because I was like, where do you get this bravery and this courage from? But you saw today, like, a couple of times he beat guys. So you gotta give him credit where it's due, Dzeko. Even though he's 36 and he still tries to beat guys. We just take Simeone as a striker for us. I always said, like, I've never been a big fan of Simeone, but as a backup striker any day, even when he wasn't as good as he has been this season, I would take Simeone. He's a good backup striker to have, because he's a great presser. He's a grinta merchant. He's got good finishing as well. He's still on his way up in trajectory. So I think he would take a role like that at a bigger club maybe, rather than struggling in lower end clubs trying to get a start. So yeah, I would take Simeone, but definitely not as a starting striker. No, there's definitely I can't go on the same agenda when clearly he's one of the top 3 or 4 goal scorers in the league. So, and I never said he was bad. I just never thought, and it was an in-joke that I had with my friend Nima, who used to say that he should have been the Icardi replacement. So that's where the thing comes from. Is like, I like to have a banter with him on Twitter a lot about Simeone, just because of that. And I still don't think, he shouldn't be the starting striker for any top club. But definitely, I think, any decent level club should be getting this guy as a backup, or if like, even Fiorentina now, I know he kind of flopped at Fiorentina, but I think he's better than Piontek and Artur Cabral. So a club like that would definitely suit him. We are back now. The pressure is on Napoli and Milan, definitely. Who's more likely to slip up tomorrow? I think both might slip up. I think both of them might draw the match, I know it could be a bit of a long shot, but I think they both might draw the match tomorrow. What's up, Liam? Great win today. Yeah, it's been a while. Good to see you. D'Ambrosio, most underrated player in our squad. Fantastic in every game he played. Pocketed Mane too. Yeah, I think as Interisti, we know how good D'Ambrosio is. I think he's underrated by, non-Interisti. I think D'Ambrosio is very like highly rated by Interisti, or as far as Interisti I know. Inzaghi needs to realize Lautaro and Dzeko are nines. The Argentine is not a second striker. That's why they don't work well together. Yeah, I mean, they just don't. We've been going on about this the whole season, Christian. Like, you should not play them together. I understand sometimes that you feel like, on paper, these two should be the best two, your best two strikers. So you got to play them maybe in a big match. But we've got like a whole season of like proof that these two just don't work together. Like, you saw the difference today. And Correa, Correa wasn't like man of the match or anything today, but in the first 20 minutes, he managed to link up with Dzeko more than Lautaro has like for the last whole month. So that's the difference. Yeah, like Lautaro and Dzeko there's no chemistry. There's just no chemistry between them two. D'Ambrosio always slots in, plays well when the called upon. Yeah, top pro, and he deserves. But when we're talking about Perisic contract renewal, D'Ambrosio's contract expires as well, and I hope his one gets renewed. Ranocchia is also expiring, and I hope. Yeah, I don't know with the Ranocchia, but I think he's on very cheap wages, so it's not like there's a problem if you renew someone like Ranocchia either, because he's always ready to step in when we need him. Continue with the same formation as of today. Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope, please, Inzaghi, just don't go back to Lautaro Dzeko next match, because Lautaro's back fit. Like, you try Lautaro and Correa next time, because we know, again, that's been tested out in Napoli in a big match and it worked. So next match, Lautaro Correa. You try Dzeko Correa today, Lautaro Correa next time round. Lautaro should be nice and rested after this suspension. Napoli versus Fiorentina going to be a good game. Yeah, I hope so. All three top three teams will drop points, so it's hard to predict who will end up on top. I agree. I can see us winning the Scudetto in the last game of the season. Crazy Pazza Inter style. Yeah, bro, I've been saying this. I think it's going to be literally like the Aguero moment for the Premier League. Like, it's literally going to be in the last few kicks of a game decided, like, us, Napoli and Milan might be on the exact same points, and it might be just, one goal from someone somewhere. Us scoring, against the Sampdoria last minute, like, it really could end up like that. I can see this Scudetto race running right up until the end, just like that. When Huijsen to replace Ranocchia, maybe if he plays less, he'll stay healthy. Yeah, but at the same time, bro, the guy that you want to come in, you want him to be ready. You don't want an experienced guy to come in to be ready to step in like that. Like, the guy needs to play. He needs to play regularly, the boy. This is playing like 5 games a season, whatever Ranocchia plays. That's not going to help his development, Van Huijsen. And that's the problem. I would bring back Van Huijsen if he managed to stay fit this season, because he actually was decent from the matches. There was a stretch of games where he managed to play 6-7 games, and he was starting for Genoa as well. And I would have liked to see him under Blessing now, who the Genoa look much better. So it's a shame for Van Huijsen. But then, yeah, like, if you can't, can you even rely on him to be as a backup with his injury history? So we need to send him out and once again hope he actually has a good, healthy season. Yeah, Correa Martinez has worked. It could actually work. It has worked. There's proof that it works. It was work. It happens. They play for Argentina and they've played a couple of times together and it's worked. And it's worked. They played together. The one real time it was, Napoli Inter, and there's a couple of times where they got a few minutes on the pitch here and there, but there's proof of it already having worked. No worries, man. And of course, I got some time to actually take some screenshots for the game, so I could give you like a little analysis. Yeah, Barella and Brozo were good today. With Barella, I still don't see the same Barella that I was seeing last season. And again, today he got a goal, so there's nothing to complain about. But for me, as I always say with Barella, the boy just seems burnt out. He just seems really burnt out. But yeah, Brozovic was definitely back to close to his normal levels. D'Ambrosio should be called up for Italy more. I mean, where is he going to play? As the right back. He's not really a right back anymore. He's more of a centre back player. If Italy played 3 at the back, maybe for sure. But I don't think he's big. And of course, he hardly plays for Inter. Like, how can you call up a guy who plays like barely 10 games for Inter for the national team? The game was really good, Marcello, especially the first half. So make sure you watch it. That's how we bought him back, bro. Van Hoysden. We had a buyback clause, but it was like a shady deal. Like Standard Liège bought him from us for like 12, 13 million, which wasn't his value. It was a little bit inflated, and then we bought him back for like just this past summer for 14, 15 million because that was the agreement in place. But it was a forced kind of buyback, or like a gentleman's agreement buyback. Give me Dybala Lukaku partnership. I don't know. Oh yeah, someone asked earlier if I believe the Dybala rumors. I mean, I've made videos on the channel telling you that yes, I believe the Dybala rumors 100%. Whilst Marotta is there, he's going to go for Dybala. But Dybala Lukaku, I don't really see that thriving too much because they're both left-footed players who both love drifting out on the right-hand side. That's Lukaku, the best version of Lukaku, when he gets to go from the right-hand side, cut in, drift in, face the goal. Dybala, as we saw against Inter, that was a perfect example. The game we played against them, he played on the right-hand side for them, but he keeps just drifting in. He's got a free role. So I don't really see that being a particularly great partnership, to be honest. Dybala Lautaro, that sounds good to me. I feel like those two could really have a good partnership. Islini Jesus, that's the only person that can save them. I'm trying to see that Lula one more time in my life. Yeah, need that celebration back. Have you addressed the Lukaku rumors on the stream? Yeah, bro. Okay, I address these rumors every week, man. That's everyone always asks about Lukaku. Yes, I want Lukaku back. Bring Lukaku back. I've said though, like as time goes on, I am like some doubts are starting to creep in a little bit with Lukaku in terms of his fitness. Like he's starting to look a little bit overweight at Chelsea again, and we don't have Pintus anymore into the physical trainer that was here on the Conte who got him in the physical shape that he was in. And without Conte's remote control football, and basically telling him exactly what to do, is it going to be the same Lukaku? That's the only doubts are starting to creep in, and of course the financial doubts. Like the only way we can afford him is if it's a loan and they pay half his wages. That's the only way we can afford him. But apart from that, of course, bring Lukaku back. There's nothing to discuss there for me. If you can bring him back and they're paying half his wages, bring him back. Bring the boy back home. Would it make sense letting Martinez gain Dybala Lukaku because Martinez is a great relationship with both? Yeah, no, that would be a big loss in terms of Lautaro thrives with Lukaku. Lautaro, well, we don't know if he thrives great with Dybala on the pitch, but he's a good friend of Dybala off the pitch. So it would be a shame for that to happen. But that's the only way we can do it, really. And I've been telling you guys for weeks, like we're gonna have to make sacrifices if we're gonna bring in players. Some players are gonna have to be sold, whether it's De Vrij, whether it is Lautaro. Some players are gonna have to be sold because this Inter team, unfortunately, guys, can't spend without selling first. Had some nice limonata after seeing the result. Yeah. I might need to join you and get a nice lemonade. Lukaku this season would have had 30-something goals by now. Yeah, I don't know about that much, but he definitely would have had more than our boy Edin, especially with some of the spaces and defenses that we've seen this season in Serie A. Bro, Lukaku is done. We have to accept the fact that without that Conte factor, we're getting a watered-down version. Well, now we're getting. I mean, if he stayed this season, we would have still had that. Maybe the confidence. Let's not forget, guys. Even without Conte, he made team of the tournament for the Euros as well. Like people make out that it was only under Conte, but he went to the Belgium team and thrived in the Belgian team. Only got to the quarterfinals, and he still got into the team of the tournament up front. So yeah, but now we're gonna have to recover him. It's about saving his career once again. I don't want Dybala. I don't think he's a good player for us. Fair enough, Eduardo. It's a big gamble, Dybala. It's a big gamble. Like Marotta is putting his balls on the line if he brings in Dybala because it's such an expensive move, as explained to you guys on this channel. If we bring in Dybala for the rumored wages, 7-8 million net, plus signing on fee, which will be expensive, agent fee, all that kind of stuff, like it works out to be something in the region of 70 million gross, the cost of bringing in Dybala over whatever it is. It was 4 years deal, 5-year deal. It's a very expensive deal for an injury prone 28-year-old. So if that one doesn't work out, that's a big it's not a good look on Marotta, because this is definitely being pushed by Marotta, because that's his boy. It's very short-sighted to miss on Raspadori, Oskamaka just to bring Lukaku back. We were better than nostalgia mess. But it's more about what we can do financially, bro. Like if they want 30 million for Raspadori and 40 plus million for Skamaka, and if you bring in Lukaku back on loan with half the wages paid back, you ask the Inter accountants and they're gonna tell Marotta goes to the Inter, he goes to Antonello, and the Inter accountants are like, so we can either do this 40 million, or we can bring Lukaku back, and then we'll see what happens next season if Suning finally sell. And I think it just makes sense to do that, short-term, short-sighted move. As you said, it is a short-sighted move, but if it's Chelsea are willing to play ball, I think that's the move that makes sense, unfortunately. Bremer Skriniar is ridiculously OP, exactly. Future Hendricks, like, whoever's the keeper behind them isn't going to have to make many saves, to be honest. Dybala's mentality is the main thing worrying me, that mindset for that much, I don't know. Yeah, he was also a bit like, I guess, kind of like Correa in terms of, he's a little bit on the softer side. His pain threshold seems to be pretty low, quite injury prone. He's not really a guy that's going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and change it for you, or like, be that like leader or something on the pitch. He's definitely not that guy. But quality-wise, I think he's top 5 in the league. Freddie's taking Lukaku over Skamaka every day. Onana had another weird moment. Oh, god damn it. See, this is what I'm saying with people. The people that, like, I was making constructive criticism. I wasn't slandering Onana. And now in the same game looks like he's made something else, another mistake. So I'm talking about. You can't just keep saying like, oh yeah, he's been out. He has been. That excuse is gonna work. Like when he starts next season, he has a couple mistakes. I'm gonna say, guys, let's give this guy some time. Let's not, jump on him and say he's a flop already. But at Inter, you don't get the time, bro. You don't get that time. Bremer to score the winner against Milan tomorrow. Hopefully, inshallah. They won. Yeah, I mean, it's Ajax. Of course, what else they're gonna do in the Dutch league? They win like 95% of the games, don't they? Like what? They got 3 losses this season, which is actually more than I expected. But yeah. Anyway, guys, 1 hour of post-match live stream. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Covered quite a few topics. Hope you guys enjoyed my screenshots analysis of the game as well. Tucu Correa finally showing some life, that he's here. He's gonna add something to the end of the season for Inter. Hopefully he stays fit, and hopefully Inzaghi has realized that Dzeko Lautaro isn't the way forward. Please, is either Dzeko or Lautaro, not Dzeko Lautaro. Please, Inzaghi, please, I beg you. I'm on my knees. Do it for Ramadan. But yeah, thank you everyone that joined in. Appreciate you all. Great comments today. Great interaction as always. Make sure you guys leaving a thumbs up before you leave the stream. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And obviously, keep looking out for the channel. Of course, Spezia preview coming in the coming days. So we're playing on Friday, so expect the Spezia preview Wednesday or Thursday. And yeah, I'll keep you up to date with any contract news that I find out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ciao ragazzi, and always Forza Inter. Second star mission continues. Come on.